Can I go home early for the next 2 days? I asked hesitantly. Why? He raised his eyebrows. Actually, my parents went out of the city and my wife is alone at home. And he is 7.5 months pregnant. Our maid will leave at 7. So, can I? I asked afraid if I deny. He stared at me for a couple of minutes. Fine, but I don't like all this. But you never make me disappointed with your work in that whole month. In fact, you did quite a good job. So that's why, for your wife, I agree with this. Jungle, but after that, you have to cover up, he said, making a straight face. I nodded and smiled. Yes, thank you so much, sir, I said gladly and took a breath of relief while walking out of the office. As I got out of my car and started walking toward my house, I saw Tay was sitting on the swing with the book in his hand. They covered his face, maybe because today weather was cold. Yesterday, after I teased him and he let out a hateful word, I didn't go in front of him because I didn't want to make him more angry with my presence. How strange. The life is. When I want to get rid of that marriage, they did his best to make me fall in love with him. Which I did, but when I realized it's already too late, and now they wanted to get rid of this marriage. While I was trying my best to save this marriage, I walked to Tay and stood beside him, bending on the level. I whispered, "Love," I greeted, while kissing his cheeks. They started for a second, then looked over his shoulder and gave me his love, which he gives me nowadays, deadly and hateful glare. But my smile never leaves even though my heart hurt. But my smile is always there for him to know I still love him no matter what, if he hates me or not. How many times I told you, don't come to me and don't do anything like this. They stood up and shouted. Oh, bad mood, I thought. Sorry, I said with the puppy eyes, though I say sorry after doing my lovable cats, but never quite doing it. It's only for Tay to make him feel better and show my love is both of us. It's make me happy to behave with like that, like husband and wife. And for Tay, that I love him. Get the hell out of here, Jungkook. Don't disturb me. They dismissed me rudely and again sat on the swing with a book open. I sat beside him. They breathed out in frustrated sign and looked at me. Before you say anything first, listen to me. Please, I begged him before he could say anything, and he narrowed his eyes at me for a few minutes before signing defeatedly. What? They asked annoyingly. I want to give you something, I said and held his hand and placed my first salary on his palm. My first salary, and I earned this without my father's name, with my hard work. I said proudly, and they stared at the envelope for the first minute. I couldn't read his expression about what he was thinking, because nowadays he liked to give me that blank expressions. After some time he glared at me and before opening that and look at the amount, he asked with a displeasure face, "You know how much Invo earned in only 1 month? That was not even close to his 30%. You're capable to earn only this?" Stung his word at staying in my heart. I looked at Tay in disbelief. I thought he would be happy to know that I did this. But no, he wasn't happy. It's my first month. I have to prove myself, but I'm confident that with this hard work, my boss will soon recognize my effort and offer me a promotion. I tried to assure him that I was hiding my pain and smiled. Yeah, very soon, they chuckled mockingly while placing their check, and he stood up. The check will fall on the ground. I want you to take this day. It's my first salary. I played it. This little amount isn't any use for me. Whenever I went for shopping, I spent more than this. My father left for me was too much. I don't need your bagel like money. Saying this, they turned around to leave, breaking my heart into a million pieces. But held his wrist, turning his back to face me. I pulled him toward me. I know you're only doing this to hurt me, but I want to ask one question. Is it give you peace after hurting me? 'Cause as far as I know, my day will also be hurt if I am hurt. I said with the pain in my eyes while touching his cheeks with my fingers. To jerk his hand away from my finger. I told you before that day was tired, and this time will feel happy to see you in pain. With that, they pushed me and walked inside. I stood there feeling hurt. My eyes were landed on that check, which was on the ground, but before I could pick it up, raining was started with the thunder. I immediately picked that check, but it was already late. Our first salary was ruined. I was happy when I got this. I truly did hard work to earn this. And happy to see in Taeyoung's eyes the same pride which I felt after giving my check. But I again disappointed him. He was right. This money was nothing. What's I think before giving him this check? But still, somewhere I thought he will be happy even though it was not that much. But it was my hard work money. I stood there still in the rain. My eyes were burning. And his last word, that echo in my mind. This day feel happy to see you in pain. After saying hateful word to Jungkook, Taeyoung came to his room, as he wanted to show him that he was trying his best to make him lose every hope of him going back to him. But he didn't bug with make him hurt even more. And I will prove him that my hate is bigger than his fake love. They thought and lay down on the bed while crossing his eyes. Jungkook that painful eyes were flashing in his mind. They felt his redness on the corner of his eyes. Touching that wet place, he opened his eyes and realized it's a tear, which they couldn't control. He was right. It still hurt seeing him in pain. A voice come from his heart. No, it was just, I never hurt anyone, and this all new for me. They convinced himself and buried his vein in the pillow. But before sleep took over him, they heard a loud thunder and raining once. After a few hours, they opened his eyes, hearing window were slamming and thunder sounds. But that doesn't wake him up. Rarely. But the cakes they was receiving for his baby, sitting up to the place, his hand on his belly. What's happened? Do you think your mama is a punching bag? They asked with a beautiful smile on his face, while rubbing his hand on his baby bump, as if trying to calm his little baby. But his baby was still kicking him 2 more times. Seems like someone is angry. They chuckled while resting his back on the headboard. They was continue talking to the baby. When he shred, hearing a loud sound, looking at the window, they stood up. As he put his feet on the floor, they felt a sharp pain. Looking at his waist, they saw it was swollen. His feet were already swollen and give him pain time to time. But today, it felt like it's too much. Standing up, they went closer to the window and froze on his face. As his eyes were landed on the spot, they looked back at the clock, which showed 10 of the night, and they remember when he came inside the room, he saw the time and it was 7 of the evening. The feel were cold, were shivered round down to his spine. All the color were dying to his face. A dreadful feeling that sat on his pit of the stomach. As he realized, Jungkook stood there in the rain for 3 hours. Cook, a whisper will left his mouth. If Jungkook could hear his voice, he looked at him and saw a painful smile came to his lips.